Hello mis amores and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having an amazing day. And today we're French obviously. I have like the worst fake French accent ever. I've just been to Hamburg and I watched Hamilton, and obviously there's like a character or two characters really who have like a French accent. I was like, I would love to play these roles, but I could never. I mean, lacking talent, but also lacking the French accent. But we still have to be French today, or we have to use the part of our brain that knows French, that pretends to know French, that could potentially know French at some point if we were to learn French. Because today we shall be following a French recipe, even though we don't speak French. By we, I mean me. We, I mean me. Moi. Moi. Also, I don't know how to say it in French, but I am really fed up with this construction site that starts being really loud whenever I press record. Anyway, Hamilton was great though. I don't know how I came up with this idea. I don't know if it's a thing. It kind of reminds me of the technical challenge in Great British Bake Off, even though, yeah, well, they at least get their recipes in English, a language that they do speak. I had my friend who speaks Spanish? She also speaks Spanish, yes, but French too. Find me a recipe or write down a recipe in French, and I shall be following that recipe. She didn't really tell me what it's called. I'm not sure what it is we're gonna make. I don't really know what it's gonna look like. I just have to rely on like my knowledge of Romance languages to guide me through this process, because this could be like an epic fail. I'm pretty sure we're also gonna make something that I've always been scared of making, but let's go to like early morning Vincent and figure out what to even get, what we need for this recipe. So hello. We are here trying to figure out what to make. I've got the two recipes here that my friend selected for me. Thank you, Eileen. Gâteau de patates douces de la Réunion. It's from La Réunion. That's where she was for like half a year. This is definitely the shorter one of the two. The other option has two parts to the recipe, which I think means we're gonna have to make like some sort of dough and then fill it with something. I'm not sure if the other one has a name. I think it's called a galette de roi. So in part one, we would have to make a pot. I'm so sorry, French-speaking people, like honestly. Pot feuilleté. I'm pretty sure that is some sort of dough, because we need 200 grams of farine de blé. 200 grams de beurre bien froid is probably butter. Froid means maybe like cold, so cold butter. Definitely sugar, then salt, and 80 to 100 milliliters of très froid. Definitely something liquid, but like what kind of dough do we make like this? French does make a lot of puff pastry, but I'm not sure she wants me to make puff pastry because I'm afraid of making puff pastry. Okay, and then the second part, it starts off with 2 pots feuilletés. I don't know what that is. Poudre d'amande? That's probably almonds, right? Poudre d'amande, 2 œufs, that's eggs. Vanilla, soup de rum, is it rum? Yeah, I really thought my Spanish was gonna be more helpful, because I don't understand a lot, surprisingly. I mean, I think I understand a lot for not knowing the language, but I don't understand everything. I don't understand what is 100 milliliters d'eau très froid. Maybe it's cream. Wait, no, let me think. If this is some sort of pastry, what do I need for it? We need some sort of liquid, but I don't know what it... is it just water? Until now, I've been trying to remember all of the videos, or at least episodes of Great British Bake Off I've seen in which they made a rough puff pastry. I'm kind of struggling, but at the very least, I'm pretty sure that we are gonna make a rough puff. Yeah, we're gonna fill it with something. it would only make sense because I think the ingredients of whatever else we're gonna make afterwards, I think it's gonna be kind of like liquidy, right? With the eggs and stuff. I feel like it has to be a filling. So I'm thinking that maybe we have to make like these little tartlet thingies that we're gonna fill. Kind of like the Portuguese pastéis de nata. I don't know. I don't speak Portuguese either. Anyway, let's try and make puff pastry. Rough puff. Because real puff pastry is like so much harder. Rough puff pastry is basically a shortcut. What I've gathered from the recipe and also what I've gathered from my knowledge is that all of the ingredients have to be super duper cold in order for this to work. Obviously, puff pastry involves a lot of butter. In contrast to other pastries, we don't want the butter to be incorporated well into, you know, the pastry. Because if we were to really combine the flour and the butter, then we're not gonna end up with the nice little flakes that are essential for a nice puff pastry, or that make a puff pastry, really. Is it for that reason that we have to keep everything cold? Anyway, we gotta keep everything cold. I think the first step even says, commencez par placer tous les ingrédients au congélateur. 15 minutes. Begin to place all the ingredients in, I would assume, not fridge, but the freezer even, for 15 minutes. Everything is in the freezer now. Here's everything you need. 200 grams de farine de blé. I think it's just flour, some sort of specification of flour, but I think I'm just gonna take all-purpose flour. And then 200 grams de beurre bien froid. Yeah. I think that's 200 grams of very cold butter. Oh, okay, and now I'm a little, it says 3 cuillpunkt à soupe de sucre. Yeah, I think it means like maybe 3 teaspoons of sugar. Then we need I think also teaspoon of salt. 80 to 100 milliliters of what I think is very cold water. I don't know. Like, where are your consonants, French? Like, why do you put 3 vowels together and call it a word? Step 2. Dans les bols d'un robot. I feel like that's like a stand mixture. I feel like that's a stand mixture. Oh my god, I feel like that's a stand mixture. I feel like that's a stand mixer. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm just gonna use a hand mixer. Oh, mettez la farine. So, put the flour, the salt and sugar, and the butter that is also cut into cubes of like 1 centimeter, which I've already done before I placed it in the fridge. Et mélangez avec la fût. And mix it avec la fût sans aller jusqu'à totale absorption de beurre. Sin, senza, so sans is without. Absorption de... So basically I think what I said, without completely absorbing the butter. Il doit rester des morceaux très importants. I'm sorry, French people, you're probably cringing so hard, or French-speaking people. Très important. I feel like, I don't know, Emily in Paris. Très important. I feel like that's the only thing she ever said in this show. Il doit rester des morceaux. No, rest. I have no idea what it's trying to tell me. Il doit rester des morceaux. What? Let's just do everything before that. Dans les bols d'un robot. This is my robot. Mettez la farine. Sell. Okay, half a teaspoon is so much though. I'm not gonna go with half a teaspoon. 3 teaspoons of sugar. And the butter cubes. Okay, I think we should be quite quick. Mix it, but not until total absorption. I almost want to do this by hand because that way I can sort of like break apart the butter a little. But I know that I won't be following the recipe then. This is just kind of like my baking brain coming through. I just really don't want to overwork it. I also don't want to keep it in the warmth for too long. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm going to go in with my hands, which are obviously kind of warm, so I'll also try and be quick. I'm just gonna try and take a little bit of butter and like break it apart maybe, and then dump it back in and coat it with flour so that we have little like flecks of butter. So now not only do I have francophones cringing, I also have all of you bakers cringing. So I hope there are no French bakers like watching this. I think I've still chosen like the easiest version of this challenge because I could have gone with like Swedish and I would not understand a single word. Obviously with French, I do know 2 Romance languages. Also English has a lot of like loan words from Romance languages or Latin derived words. And so I can make a lot of connections and assumptions. Okay, I think I almost want to keep it at that. Then I think once we add the water, we should be good. It says, ajoutez l'eau glacée et mélangez à pain. Le is the water. Glacé, I mean, I'm thinking of like glacier. So I'm thinking of like ice. So I think the ice water, jusqu'à formation d'une pâte. So maybe just until it like forms a dough, pastry. Des morceaux de beurre deviennent encore très bien vis dans cette pâte à texture masse homogénéous pour une phase. What? I think we're gonna add the water now. Okay, it says 70 to 100 milliliters. So I'll make a little well. Start with like 50 milliliters. I don't know, I feel like this is overworking it. I'll use my hand. I mean, we're gonna have to put it on our workbench soon anyway. But I almost wanna say that this is like done. Oh, I feel like I'm overworking this. I need a little bit more water, I think. Okay, I'm not really seeing like flecks of butter anymore. I'm not sure if it's dough or if it's butter at this point. It's starting to stick to my hand, so I feel like we shouldn't put more water than this. Is this my rough puff? It's also getting way too soft, so I can't work this any further. I almost want to say that I want to put this in the freezer for a couple of minutes. Démarquer le beurre devient très bien visible. I think we still can see a little bit of butter bien visible. Could have been more. Obviously with puff pastry, there's a lot of like folding. And I think I'm gonna make the first fold now, then pop it in the fridge for a little bit, because if I'm correct, like it doesn't tell me any like minutes or so. So I'm not really sure if we're gonna have to pop this one into the fridge at all, according to this recipe. Instead, we're gonna have to make a rectangle. De pâte sur votre plan de travail, I don't know, un bon de 60 centimeters by 15 to 20 centimeters. How much is 60? Because I feel like that would be very thin then. I've definitely incorporated the butter too well. Okay, this is getting too soft. We gotta do the folding. In the recipe, they don't pop it into the fridge, so like how? Rabattez alors à tir supérieur pour le tir inférieur. So upper and lower probably. I think first we gotta have to put the upper part to the middle and then the lower part. Fold it like this and like this. I'm gonna put this in cling foil and pop it in the freezer because this is way too soft. Even though in the recipe they just keep going now. I'm nervous. Hey! I think we can continue, hopefully. This seems hard again, cold again. The more we roll it out and fold it, the more it turns into a proper like dough, a pastry, and stops looking this, you know, clunky, weird. One more thing. It says, so we've done this once. Faites tourner la pâte dans blah blah, puis étaler de l'avant sur. So it tells me to do this again to 60 centimeters, and then rebattons-la en trépart et continuons encore tout fait. And then in parentheses, donc 4 piloges au total. So we have to do this 4 times in total. One last time. One last time. I'm really not sure if this worked, guys, but if it did, then I made puff pastry. Also, I've been having a week, so give me a win, please. I need a win. Now it's time for part 2 of the recipe. And I feel like part 2 is actually the real name of the recipe. Galette de roi.
Galette de roi?
Yeah, that. But I think that is the main thing we're making because in the list of ingredients is the puff pastry. Here is what you need to make the galette de roi. You need 125 grams of sugar. Then you need 60 grams de beurre moi, which previously we had cold butter and it did not have this word mo. So I just assumed that it means soft butter now. So 60 grams of soft butter. 2 œufs, uovo, as in eggs. 150 grams de poudre d'amande. That's like powder. Almond powder, so grated almonds. Grated? Oh, you know what I mean. Une gousse de vanille, which I would assume is like 1 vanilla thingy, you know? 2 teaspoons, I would think of rum, but in parentheses it says facultative, which maybe means like optional. And then you need 1 more œuf pour dorer la galette avec une pince de sel. Maybe to like cover the galette. Oh damn guys, I don't know what to do. First step is fouetter le sucre et le beurre. Puis ajouter la poudre d'amande. Fouetteuse. I would say like mix the butter in the sugar and then maybe slowly add the almonds. Gratin la grains de la gousse de vanille et ajoutez-le à la préparation. The mark of the vanilla bean into the preparation, the mixture. Ajoutez 3 œufs entiers et le rhum. Ajouter, is it añadir? As in like add? Add 2 œufs and the rum. Disposez un cercle de pâte. Déposez de la crème amande dessous en laissant 2 cm de pâte tout autour que vous moulez légèrement avec un pinceau et le water. Pâté. Are we already? Did we use all of the ingredients? I think so, except for that 1 egg. And pâté is a pastry. Is cercle a circle? Déposer de la crème amande 2 cm de pâte tout autour que vous. I don't know. But what I would imagine it means is that we have a circle of the pastry, then we put this almond thin situation in the middle, leaving a 2 cm border all around, and then we'll take the dough because it, oh no, that's water, not egg. I think we put some water on that border for whatever reason. I don't know, guys. I think I have to go with this. Somehow I have to turn this into 2 discs or circles. I don't know. I thought we were gonna do like little tartlets, but I feel like it would tell me an amount then, and I think it only says like 2 puff pastry pieces. This is like the least circular circle ever. This is like a round rectangle maybe. Huh. Is a circle a round rectangle? So this is our bottom layer. I'm pretty sure we're gonna put our almond into the middle. I don't know how much, but we're definitely gonna leave a 2 cm border. Okay, now we need water on the border, I think. Que vous le moulez légèrement avec un pinceau et de long. Now we have to place the other half on top, right? Placez la fève et recouvrant avec le deuxième disque légèrement plus grand. C'est-à-dire le bord. And I think we're just gonna press the borders lightly. See, we'll make it super round by cutting off the edges. Is this right? Entier avec une pince de sel. I think we have to beat the egg with a pinch of salt. I think we'll just put it on top then. Pretty. Might I even say excellent. Okay, sorry. Now, plaçons la galette en frigo 30 minutes or 15 minutes en congélateur. That was the freezer. Okay guys, you may already hear the oven, which I'm preheating to 180 degrees. That I know. It says dessiner vos motifs avec une lame de couteau sans percer la pâte. Motifs is like German, like motive maybe, and it also talks about the pâte. Like, am I supposed to like write something on the pastry or do like some sort of beautiful design on the pastry? And then it says dorer une seconde fois, whatever. I feel like that says do something a second time. And like the only thing that I could imagine is the egg wash again. Let's put this in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. And I think we gotta check underneath if it's cooked or not. Good luck! I don't know, it looks pretty cooked to me. It hasn't really risen that much, which is probably due to my lack of puff pastry making skills. The color is nice. Something tells me that maybe I should have cut properly into the pastry because you can hardly see my stuff that I've made, but you definitely see this correct. So yeah guys, this is my galette de roi. I mean, I kind of wish it was smaller. The crust seems nice. Ooh, it's flaky on top. Look, we've got flakes. Moment of truth. This is what mine looks like. And this is the original. Oh my god, I'm so nervous to look. Yeah, I mean, that looks kind of similar-ish. They just did a better job at making the pastry, I guess. The shape is, I think I understood the concept. I think I've done everything right except the pastry. That's my first time making puff pastry, and I'm also following a recipe that I did not really understand. Like, give me a break. Wow, that's satisfying. Oh. I did not know what to expect, but I'm kind of excited to try it now. Let's dig in. That's kind of nice. I mean, it doesn't have the richest of all flavors, and it's very sweet. Hold on. I think my puff pastry isn't too bad. I know my mistake though. I rolled it out too thinly. It's too big. The ratio of filling to pastry isn't, you know, perfect. I'm proud of myself, not even for kind of being able to follow this French recipe, but more so for having made puff pastry. I'm gonna go now. I am officially a French pâtissier. If you guys also want to follow this French recipe, I will leave the link in the description down below. Thank you guys for supporting me through this very tough journey, but we got there in the end. But most importantly, thank you guys so much for watching this video, y entonces nos vemos la próxima.